Fran and Ken, just two more quick questions. In our increasingly secularized society, we're also more isolated and we're over-politicized. What is this antidote to the over-politicized citizenry? Is there one? Fran, let's start with you.
Yeah, I think the most important thing that we can do is find an interior silence, and this culture absolutely kills that. I mean, one of the reasons that I began going to adoration was to just have an opportunity to be quiet. I mean, if you watch television or read the papers, you're just freaked out all the time in terms of conflict, and you can't think clearly about how to proceed, even politically, if you don't have some island of silence in your life where you can kind of think clearly, think quietly, pray, and listen for the Spirit and guiding you how you proceed. And this culture is very, very good at preventing that and just eliminating it from the possibilities that one has.
Well, I think Mother Angelica would agree with you there. Ken, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with Fran, but I also would add that I think that we need to broaden our understanding of what it means to exercise civic responsibility. As Catholic Christians, under the doctrine of solidarity, we certainly do have an obligation to make a public contribution, but that public contribution doesn't necessarily always have to be exercised through politics or political commitment. And in fact, I think we need to broaden our understanding what it means to be publicly involved or to exercise our duty to the common good beyond politics, so that we think less in terms of the political implications and more in terms of the broader social and moral implications and obligations that we have to one another. So if we reinvigorate the notion of solidarity and subsidiarity, two things that I talk about at length in my book, I think that's an antidote to over-politicization of our understanding of public life, because then we reduce the role of politics and we reduce our expectations of what politics can do for us. And therefore, we do more of what we ought to do that are consistent with solidarity and especially with subsidiarity, and that is helping institutions that are closer to us and that are more proximate and more able to address situations that really matter in our lives. And so by reducing the role of politics or the importance of politics, we also broaden our understanding of our public responsibilities and duties. And I think that would be a first step.
Right, really understanding that community level, that local level and influence. Well,
correct.
I've got a hypothetical for both of you. With this movement toward integralism in the church, or rather just a conversation around it that has become quite popular, is there such a thing as the perfect Catholic candidate? And if that perfect Catholic candidate did exist in the United States, would you vote for them? Ken, you go first.
Well, I don't think there is that perfect candidate. I could probably hypothetically construct one in the air, as it were, as Plato might say, but I don't think that there is one. But on the other hand, I think that what the debate around integralism does for us is it drives us, and I think in a very salutary way, toward a reconsideration of how we think about the role of politics and the politician in terms of the church exercising its proper role in public life. And so I think that we could construct such a candidate. I don't think there is one, but certainly I would be very favorable toward a candidate who really did incorporate into every party platform or every policy position that he has a true understanding of Catholic witness. And of course, we don't have that with either candidate now, but it's a good question. And yes, I certainly would be very attentive to a candidate who espoused those positions and who did it in a way that would make it a serious candidacy or a serious run at office, rather than effectively a vote for none of the above.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Well, Fran, what about you?
Yeah, I don't think perfection is in the vocabulary of politics. I just don't. I don't think that. And that Augustine, I mean, Ken knows
human
this.
nature.
Yeah, Ken understands this too. I mean, you're never going. We're sinners, and you're never going to have a perfect state or a perfect candidate. It's not possible. So you have to use the best. You have to have a good grip on what Catholic teaching is in order to try to support the candidate who represents things the best. By the way, on the matter of integralism, I think one of the lessons of history is that an overt relationship of the church with the state is a really bad idea, because we are always the ones that lose in that situation. You know, we're living in a pluralist society, and we have to make our peace with that and do the best that we can to infuse in it Christian principles. But it's always going to be imperfect, always, and we just have to live with that. If there were a perfect candidate, sure, I would vote for him or her, but I don't anticipate that happening before before Jesus comes back.
That's right. We already have that perfect candidate in our eternal reward. Well, gentlemen, thank you both for joining us for this important conversation. And Ken, you have your book out, which is called Citizens Yet Strangers, Living Authentically Catholic in a Divided America. And Fran, of course, your book that just came out recently as well, True Confessions, Voices of Faith from a Life in the Church. Thank you both.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.